Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our weekly commodities update. This is where we do analysis on natural gas, oil, US dollar, gold, and silver. We'll be looking at support and resistance levels, as well as where price will most likely head to for later this week. And if you guys are looking for the stock market update video with the Mag 7s and QQQ S&P 500, check out the video from yesterday, and let's get started on natural gas. So finally, natural gas has broke out. We've been looking at this line together, this resistance, for over a couple months. So you can see rejection here, here, multiple rejections. And we finally broke out here on Monday, essentially. And we got a decent follow through. Got about a 15% follow through in just a week. And then on Friday, looks like we got a big rejection from essentially this pivot. So I talked about this last week, saying if we break above here, prior resistance and this downtrending resistance line, we're likely coming back up to here. And this is the level we need to break. If we can break here, then we're coming back up to this 52-week high structure right here. And we couldn't get over this. So essentially, we weren't able to come back to this 4.4. So currently, we could still potentially make a higher low here. So this is a big enough move space here. And for the bulls, if they can hold this level, this prior resistance, right? Prior resistance, break above it. Now we want to see active support. So if this 3.78 area can act as support and bulls bounce from here and make a higher high, then we have a chance to break this pivot. What the bears want to see is this would be a failed breakout, come back into below this 3.8 level where we broke out from. And then we're going to come back. If that happens, we're probably back testing this 3.45 again, which has been holding for ages. So we'll see what holds this coming week. Pretty simple. Where at these levels, we just need to break 4.1, make a higher high, and bulls will potentially look for 4.3. All right, let's take a look. Let's zoom in a little bit, see what it looked like here. So it was So it was in the pretty much a straight sell-off. Yeah. So this could be a far bear flag. So be eye watch on that. But we are holding right this level. We broke out from. You can see a little bit buyers here coming in. And so yeah, this is the most key level for me. This 3.8 level. If it breaks and this is a 4-hour bear flag, then that's not a good sign. We're likely going to come down to 3.68, where all this volume is at. And if we go a little bit lower and then bounce from there, we're probably just going to form a tiny range. It's going to go sideways because that would be giving back too much of the retracement of this move. Come all the way down here, then we'll probably just, best case would just be more of a equilibrium tiny range. But if we do bounce from here, if we come down a little bit lower, if we bounce from here, come back up, then there is still a good chance we make that daily higher low and higher high. Yeah, that was a nice breakout from here. Very clear resistance we looked at together from this breakout. If your chart looks a little different than mine, make sure to click this B80J, justice for contracts. You don't want to get all these contract gaps in between. And let's continue with oil. If you guys want to learn more tech analysis, check out the Patreon link for more one-on-ones. If you guys just want to book a 15-minute free call, just chat about anything. Kind of your sticking points, psychology, trading, all that stuff. Check out the link, and let's continue with oil here. So it's holding the highs, so that's a good sign for the bulls. Essentially, after this breakout, best case for bulls is to hold the highs. Consolidation through time is always the best, and essentially that is currently what's happening right now. And this resistance is also really clear. It's pretty much this resistance, right? We zoom out. Let's go to 2-day time frame. How many upper wicks we have here? It's pretty much 76, right? Same resistance as last week we talked about. But overall, if you zoom out, it's pretty much a sideways trade. Bigger picture, right? Tested the highs, came back down, tested the lows, tested the highs again, came back down, tested pretty much the lows here, came back up here, tested the highs again. no real fake outs in a longer term picture. But for now, obviously, geopolitical news is gonna either cause this to break out. If we break out above here at this current 76, I'm looking back up to some around the 79 to 80 zone. Yeah, if we break the 79 to 80 zone right here, we're gonna come up to this 82, 83 zone. If we start pulling back here, then we're probably gonna come back to around the 68 to 70 zone to back test. Be a nice, really nice 2-day bull flag here. Even if we pull, yeah, we pull back to 70, 69, be reasonable, which would be the high of this entire cluster of volume here, right? All this, see the volume profile here. So I wouldn't be surprised even if we pull back a little bit, form some kind of bull flag, and then go. But with geopolitical news, right? I think we could just get a big pop and then come back. Very volatile. So yeah, just keep an eye on the news if you're playing oil, obviously. Very news driven lately. All right, check US dollar. Still doing absolutely nothing. This is a slightly lower low breakdown with no follow through at this moment. So usually when we break kind of like major lows, right, you get kind of like a flush through and then a follow through. If the bears are serious about it, this is more like stop everybody out and then held the level. Hey, we just peaked underneath it slightly and then pretty much bounced right away. But bulls are not out of the woods because this is just one leg up, and we're not even above the first resistance. So this could just be also another lower high, lower low. But for now, this is like the first sign, like a tiny first sign that the bulls might defend here. You can see the right Thursday, Friday, Monday, all the same lows are all defended. So that's like the first sign, even though it's a right. We made a lower low break, no follow through, no follow through, no follow through 3 days. So that's like the first initial sign that maybe dollar bulls are showing up, and then we got this big pop. So for me, if dollar bulls can break above this 199 area right here, this triple quadruple top right here, and like this, then that's the daily uptrend confirmed. At the same time, lower no follow through, and break at least the first resistance, then that will probably give bulls a little bit more confidence that will come back up to test at least this 100 area where we rejected multiple times here as well. So first step, break this 99.3, and we got a good shot at 100, and then 109, all right, 100.9 for me after that. For bears, you want to break this pivot right here where they've been trying to defend for multiple days. Bears can break here, get follow through. You're gonna flush with not much support, right? You can see from here, we break here. The next area of support is here. So it's gonna be a flush to like 97. Yeah, so it is a good sign that bulls actually held this level, even though we broke to a new low. Got me thinking if this pivot, it would. Yeah, actually kind of looks nicer, but it's pretty much a megaphone, right? We're looking at this bigger picture megaphone. Rejection, 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 rejection. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Prior, it was like this: bounce, 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 right? And then we broke bear here. It went a little bit lower. And now it's just acting as this resistance, this support. So let's keep that for now. And since it has 3 touches now after the most recent week, so I guess big picture, we're just looking at this megaphone. So if this bounce from here, start breaking resistance, then Might look for potentially back up to 101. All right, let's take a look at gold and silver. Okay, so gold didn't make a new high and pretty much just rejected near all-time high resistance, triple top. 1, 2, 3, and it's still fine, right? Big up, higher low, higher high, another higher low, higher high. Currently, another higher low at the moment. So as long as bulls hold its pivot, it doesn't break these prior pivots. It's currently holding. So if making another leg down here, then that's a loss of an uptrend and back to a neutral trend. It's currently still in an uptrend. So if we bounce from here, then we have a good shot at testing this all-time high structure again. But if we do over here, what the bears want to see is you want to break all these pivots, get a big enough move, potentially form a daily downtrend. Right, even on this drop, there's no real clear daily downtrend. It was just one initial move, and this was where bears tried to form that lower high, but they failed. Just made a higher high. So what we want to see from the bears is a big enough drop, a lower high, and a lower low. Kind of like this, but this was barely even a bounce. Kind of just like you call this one was one move. But if this was a clear lower high, a bounce, and then a lower low, that would shape up potentially a temporary top. For now, no signs of that yet. Bulls are still in full control. And let's take a look at silver, see if relative strength is continuing or not. Okay, so big move up last week, hit our resistance. Try it again here on Tuesday. It's like and reject again. So same resistance for me as long as this holds. Rejection, 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 rejection. Another rejection this week. It is slightly holding support, but this is not what you want to see. Where you hit resistance, you get a 2-day flush. Zoom out a little bit. Let's see. Yeah. It's pretty much, it should be trading as like an all-time high breakout. So it shouldn't flush like that. Because this whole structure here is from like 2012, which is not very useful. This whole resistance here. So after about 13 years, technically speaking, there shouldn't be much resistance up here. After breaking above here, it's 34 and 5, and then here, 36. That was pretty much the last resistance. So that might be an initial sign where silver is slowing down, but at the moment, no signs of huge red flag other than that flush, higher high, no follow through. But if we hold here, this could still be a bull flag, even though it poked a little bit underneath. But so yeah, let's see if it holds here. We're still above support, so right, bounce, 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 break down, back test support, now acting as resistance, reject, finally break above it, now it's acting as support again. So yeah, so if silver holds above this $35 to $35 range, and no red flags. Let me just go sideways. We chip chop sideways. That's the case for bulls. Kind of like this, right? Big move up. Hits resistance. Test again. Failed. Rejection. Kind of like pretty much exactly the same move, right? Big move hits resistance. Test again. Failed. And then we just chip chop sideways. Bull flag right here on the weekly chart. Beautiful bull flag. Breakout again. So ideally for bulls, we can't get over here. You want to consolidate again sideways, just like this. And while when this is happening, going sideways, you want to see gold holding sideways as well. You want to see gold roll over. Gold rolls over and silver is kind of like trading sideways. That is relative strength. But if gold continues to roll over, then it might roll over with it. So be a little cautious of that at the moment. But if gold goes sideways, while silver goes sideways, perfect. Both consolidating at the highs. Yeah, so no sense of red flag for now. All right, that's all for you guys. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, guys. Made this far and support the channel. I will see you guys next week for more stock market update and commodities. Have a great rest of you guys' weekend. Take care.